The Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
President Trump says a missile defense system to protect the United States will be, in his words, fully operational by the end of this term.
For years, the United States and Russia have been competing to develop advanced missiles that can enter Earth's orbit and travel across oceans to strike each other. In recent times, China has entered this race by upgrading its military technology. So far, no missiles have been used. Still, the US must do everything in its power to defend itself against the aerial threats posed by both Russia and China. And right now, that's exactly what it's doing. In a surprising statement, former US President Donald Trump announced that the United States will soon have a Golden Dome defense system that would make the nation nearly impossible to strike. Russia and China were taken off guard by the news. By introducing the Golden Dome, Trump may have just made the long-range threats from both Russia and China meaningless. On May 20th, Trump officially announced that the United States will begin developing a new air defense system called the Golden Dome, designed to shield the entire country from a variety of aerial threats. He claimed that the system would be up and running in less than 3 years and could reach a success rate close to 100%. The idea of the Golden Dome is bold and will come with a high cost. But for those familiar with Trump's previous plans, it isn't entirely unexpected. He has spoken about the need to protect American airspace before. Just a few days after returning to office in January, Trump signed an executive order to create an Iron Dome for America, a system aimed at defending against modern aerial threats from America's rivals. The May 20th announcement only confirms that the project is much further along than most people had assumed. Once fully completed, the Golden Dome will be able to stop missiles, even if they are launched from across the world or even from space. It will be the most advanced system ever made. In short, the United States has made its strategy clear: to eliminate the threat posed by long-range missiles from countries like Russia and China. This raises two main questions. Why is this happening now? And what do we know so far? To answer the second part, Space Force General Michael Guetlein, currently serving as Vice Chief of Space Operations, gave a direct explanation. Trump chose him to lead the Golden Dome project, and he shared the following. Our adversaries have been rapidly updating their nuclear forces. They're developing ballistic missiles that can carry multiple warheads, hypersonic missiles that can strike the US in under an hour while traveling at 6,000 miles per hour, cruise missiles that can avoid our radar systems, and submarines capable of coming close to our shores. On top of that, they're working on weapons based in space. In simple terms, Russia and China are growing stronger, and the US's current systems are not enough to respond effectively. Guetlein's concerns seem justified. Not long ago, China hinted that it possesses hypersonic missiles that can reach speeds of up to Mach 20. These missiles might be deployable from satellites, ground-based systems, and other platforms, giving China a wide range of attack options. Russia, too, is heavily involved in hypersonic missile development. According to the National Defense University, Russia is working on at least 3 hypersonic weapons that are either already in service or close to being ready. Russia has been developing these weapons since 2018, when President Vladimir Putin first introduced them. These developments from both countries are seen as serious threats to the US, but the US isn't willing to accept that threat any longer. It's time to shift the balance and prioritize protecting our homeland. Trump's choice of Guetlein to lead this mission seems to have been a strong one. The Guardian describes Guetlein as a 4-star general who is highly regarded in the Pentagon for his experience and skill. He's especially well versed in developing and acquiring missile defense systems, which makes him well suited to take on a project like the Golden Dome. With the Golden Dome, the United States is sending a strong and clear message to both Russia and China. You may be working on weapons that can reach US territory at speeds never seen before. But if you ever use them, we'll have a defense system ready to stop them mid-air. Your attacks will be blocked and you'll be exposed to retaliation. That seems to be the main thinking behind the Golden Dome's development. But how exactly will the United States turn this plan into something real? The first answer is simple: money, and a lot of it. Trump revealed that building the Golden Dome will cost around $175 billion over the next 3 years. To compare, the US military budget for 2025 is capped at $895 billion, so nearly 1/5 of it would go toward this new defense system. This massive amount won't be spent all at once. According to the War Zone, Trump is pushing for an initial round of funding, estimated at about $25 billion. According to TWZ, both of these efforts are already underway. However, things are expected to move faster now that Trump has issued a 3-year deadline for Golden Dome to become active. The satellite component adds another dimension to the story, one that may involve Elon Musk. Reuters reported on April 17th that Musk's company, SpaceX, is currently leading a group of organizations trying to win the contract for building the required satellites. 6 individuals familiar with the Golden Dome project told Reuters that SpaceX is already working alongside 2 partners to build crucial parts of the program, especially the satellite system. These partners include Palantir, a software development firm, and Anduril, a drone manufacturing company. SpaceX is expected to take on the job of building the satellites, while Palantir would handle the software powering the entire system. Anduril would focus on a portion of the ground-based elements. According to Reuters, the plan involves the 3 companies collaborating to build and launch between 400 and 1,000 satellites into orbit. These satellites will operate in constant rotation around the Earth, scanning for missile activity. In addition to that, there is a separate plan to build roughly 200 attack satellites. These could be equipped with either interceptor missiles or laser-based weapons to shoot down threats before they reach the US. Musk, for now, is staying quiet about his involvement. The Pentagon has said his company has only presented an option to the White House, but one of Reuters' sources gave a different account. That source said that the way the satellites are being acquired is unlike previous processes. There's a sense that the national security community feels the need to handle Elon Musk carefully due to how important he's become to government operations, the source explained. There's also talk that Musk might be working on a subscription-based model for his satellites. This would mean the US would pay for access to his technology rather than owning it outright. This still doesn't make it clear what the satellite side of the Golden Dome will actually look like. Neither Trump nor Musk has confirmed whether SpaceX is officially part of the project, certainly not to the extent that Reuters has reported. Still, considering Musk's close relationship with the US president, it's reasonable to think he could play a major role in the Golden Dome. That sums up the space component of the Golden Dome system. But earlier discussions about drones being part of the US's new defense strategy suggest there's also a ground-based segment involved. Specifically, TWZ reports that surface-level sensors will be needed to detect threats that don't come from space, like drones and cruise missiles. Existing and new sensors and effectors will be integrated into the system, according to statements made at today's presser, TWZ reported on May 20th. This suggests the US wants to bring together its current aerial defense command and control systems with newer ones, combining them within the Golden Dome framework. With the right networking setup, this approach could allow the US to build a multi-layered defense system. That would involve mixing existing technology with the new tools required to make Golden Dome fully operational. Think of a structure that starts with satellite defense and then stacks several layers of ground defense underneath it. That way, any incoming missile or drone would have to get through multiple barriers before it could reach American territory. It's a concept that's somewhat comparable to Israel's defense strategy. Their system uses Arrow 2, Arrow 3, David Sling, and Iron Dome together to create several layers of protection. Golden Dome may follow that same strategy. Only this time, it would be on a far bigger scale. Another key point is that the Golden Dome won't be locked into a closed system. Instead, it will be built with an open architecture, allowing the US government to bring in whichever contractors it chooses to work on the system or make upgrades in the future. No single company will have full control. That's an important detail, as it ensures the US won't be dependent on just one vendor. If updates or new features are needed later, the US will be able to create a bidding process and choose the most qualified contractor for the job. According to TWZ, this open setup could also help speed up the process of adding new features to the Golden Dome, since the government won't have to wait for a specific company to be available. Now, there's one more major part of the Golden Dome system to discuss: the threats it's designed to defend against. Hypersonic missiles are the main concern right now, and Guetlein emphasized that when he spoke about being placed in charge of the program. These weapons are a serious challenge. Both Russia and China either already have them or are actively developing them. And the US currently doesn't have many options when it comes to stopping missiles that travel at speeds of up to 20 times the speed of sound. But the Golden Dome isn't just being built to stop hypersonic missiles. It's designed to cover a wide range of threats. That was confirmed by the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, in a report titled Golden Dome for America: Current and Future Missile Threats to the US Homeland. This document came out roughly a week before Trump made his announcement and revealed that the Golden Dome will be designed to defend against multiple kinds of weapons. Along with hypersonic missiles, it will also target intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, ground attack cruise missiles, and fractional orbital bombardment systems. The document also mentioned North Korea and Iran as possible threats that the Golden Dome aims to defend against. According to the DIA, North Korea has successfully tested ballistic missiles that are capable of reaching the US, and Iran has space launch vehicles that could, in theory, be used to launch a ballistic missile. When you also consider the more immediate threats posed by Russia and China, the need for the Golden Dome becomes even clearer. The United States requires the Golden Dome. Without it, the homeland could be exposed to these rising threats. And it's not just the US that sees this clearly. Canada has been so impressed by the Golden Dome project that it is currently holding talks with the United States to join this new missile defense initiative. That's based on statements from both Donald Trump and Canada's Prime Minister's Office, or PMO. Canada has reached out to us and they want to be involved, so we'll be discussing it with them. They want protection too, so as always, we do our best to help Canada. Aside from the small jab at Canada in that last part, Trump appears to suggest that the Golden Dome will be a joint effort between the US and Canada. A representative from the PMO seemed to confirm this in a statement provided to CTV News. According to the PMO, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and his cabinet members are currently in discussions with their American counterparts. These conversations naturally involve strengthening NORAD and connected efforts like the Golden Dome, the spokesperson stated. How much Canada will actually participate remains uncertain. Trump might ask America's neighbour to the north to contribute financially to the project, which would be a major win for him. If not through funding, Canada may offer technical knowledge or even provide some of the weapons that the Golden Dome will use once it becomes fully functional. Trump is likely to favour the funding option most. He might even use Canada's recent pledge of $6 billion toward an early warning radar project with Australia as proof that the country is ready to invest heavily. Still, nothing is confirmed until more details about the Golden Dome come to light. At the moment, countries like Russia, China, and any other adversaries of the US that are working on missile technology capable of reaching American territory are caught off guard. With the Golden Dome, the US will soon have a system in place that can intercept and destroy those incoming threats. If Trump is correct and the system becomes active within the next 3 years, that leaves America's enemies with a tough decision. Should they act now, before the Golden Dome is a real obstacle? Or should they wait and see if the US manages to complete its ambitious new air defense system? But what's your opinion on the Golden Dome? Do you think the system will be ready before the end of Trump's second term, or does that deadline seem too ambitious? Will the Golden Dome be worth the hundreds of billions of dollars the US plans to spend on it? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content.